robotics. It is an area that requires a lot of deep innovation in artificial intelligence. As we know, kind of the genie's out of the bottle around AI. And I believe we need to start empowering people like you to be able to create solutions with this technology. So that's what my remarks are about today. So we all know, right? AI is changing, I mean, literally everything is changing. Markets, industries, how we study disciplines, you name it. And that is amazing. There's incredible opportunity, and these increasingly powerful tools are becoming increasingly accessible to everyday people. And that is a more recent event that is starting to change everything. It's no longer just people like me who get to make things with AI. All kinds of people are starting to be able to create things with AI. It's not all gumdrops and roses necessarily. We're starting to become much more aware of when you deploy these extremely powerful technologies, there are also potential unintended consequences. And I'm sure if you've been reading the media, you've seen examples of bias introduced by these systems that may privilege certain groups over others on things like hiring decisions or loan decisions or the criminal justice system. So the idea now of responsible AI has really taken root, and that's become really part and parcel of how we educate people of all ages about AI. The ethics and the responsible design is not an afterthought, it is integrated as you learn how to invent and develop solutions with the technology. One of the big issues of AI, I'm sure you probably know as a field, it is not particularly diverse, right? And that's also an issue because the people who are creating things with AI, you create from your set of experiences and so forth. It's like, if that's not a diverse, well-represented group of people, and I'm saying not just in the United States, but globally, that's not good for anyone, right? So a lot of our mission is to try to increase the access and to create a much more diverse and inclusive group of people who can use AI to invent solutions that help their communities, because they're going to be the best experts understanding what their community needs. So we often get asked this question of, so is AI going to replace people? What's the implication for the workforce? The punchline is, there's been a lot of really influential writings. I have some quotes here from Eric Danielson, who used to be here at MIT, but now is at Stanford. And the argument is, it's not just about AI solving things or just people solving things, but when you can really bring the two together, you can unlock way more potential and possibility than if you kind of think of just people or just AI. So put another way, people start saying, it's not like AI is going to take people's jobs, it's people who actually know how to use AI are going to be the people who get those jobs, right? So again, just another motivating reason that we really want to make this accessible to a lot more people. It should not be an esoteric kind of thing. So for that reason, a couple years ago, we created the MIT Raise initiative. It is an MIT-wide initiative, and it's really about this mission of AI is for everyone. You know, we do an awesome job of teaching about AI at MIT to undergraduate and graduate students. It's way more than that. It's got to be K-12, it's got to be workforce, it's got to be upskilling. So that is a big mission of Raise. And you know, we don't want to just do it as an educational program. We are inventing and innovative new tools, new pedagogical practices, new research is really integrated into what we're doing to understand how do you do this better, more powerfully, more equitably around the world. So it is a research and impact initiative. So I'm going to talk to you about some programs that are offered through the Raise initiative. So we talk about AI literacy. This is a new word that's starting to kind of grow and talk. People are going to talk about. So what does that mean, at least to us? So it's a number of kind of key buckets. One is, you got to demystify what AI is. If you read the media, it's really confusing. Is it a sentient ether? Is it an algorithm? What the heck is AI, right? So people need to have a much more practical ground and just understanding of like, it's a technology, it's a tool, you make things with it. We really want to help demystify what AI is. And now there's a group of academics around the world that have identified the big 5 ideas of AI. There's machine perception, there's decision-making and reasoning, there's machine learning, which of course is kind of dominating everything right now, how people interact with AI and societal implications. So those are the 5 big ideas, and we're developing a lot of curriculum and professional development so that educators around the world can teach this. As I said, we also know that there's a lot of ways that AI is getting deployed into the world, so people need to be responsible users of these technologies. They need to be informed users, so as you grow up and have the chance to vote and become leaders in the community, you need an informed voice of how you want AI integrated into your community. We want to position you to be able to make those kinds of decisions. And of course, here at MIT, we want to have you grow up knowing you don't just use this stuff, you can make and shape this technology too. So we have a big emphasis on the making and the creativity and the critical thinking and the problem solving, which I know you're all fans of here. So we're MIT. How many of you know Scratch? Came from here. How many of you know App Inventor? Came from here, right? So these are amazing platforms that have literally revolutionized who can write programs for computers, for other kinds of devices, for mobile devices, an app and Android. What we've been doing is adding state-of-the-art AI capabilities into these platforms so students can learn about AI by designing and making solutions with AI. We love that at MIT. You learn through making, that's putting you in the designer seat, that's where you really start to understand and really think about the nitty-gritty challenges of creating solutions with these kinds of technologies. So we are busy doing that. We have a term we like to use called computational action, which is basically saying, let's go beyond hands-on learning, let's go beyond project-based learning. Let's actually have you learn by actually trying to solve things, like actually make a difference in your community. And as I said before, the thing that is so provocative right now about AI is these tools have gotten to the point where they are so accessible that you can start making things that other people can use to solve problems right now. You don't have to wait till college, you don't have to wait till your workforce. You can do it right now. And so we say, you gotta start taking kids seriously because they want to make a difference, and you know what? They can. So we call this computational action, we have ethical design kind of processes and so forth. This is all about how you can design responsible AI solutions to make your community better, which I know is very synergistic with the Littleton program you've been in. So the traditional view now of education, the traditional view has been like children are vessels upon which we fill their heads with knowledge, right? So what I want to posit is, what if you can tap into kids' inner hero, right? Like, how can you say, like, maybe AI is your superpower, and you can go out there and you can be that hero, and you can like make a difference in your life. How do we ignite that, and how do we do that at scale? Not just through amazing programs like what you're in here, but like, how do you do that for the world? So this is kind of our sensibility, what we're trying to unlock in young people, and how does this then inspire and drive your continued learning about all kinds of subjects and critical thinking and design and all of that. So tapping into your sense of the inner hero. So I'm going to talk about two programs, as I mentioned, that kind of embody this spirit in kind of different lenses and different capacities. So the first one is Day of AI. Does anybody know about the Day of AI? Y'all got to know about the Day of AI. This is taking over the world by storm. It's all about AI literacy, literally for everyone, kindergarten to 12th grade, because people need to understand what the heck this stuff is and how to become AI literate. So I'm going to start talking about that. You can go to daveai.org to learn about it. It's really about bringing AI literacy into classrooms, actual in classrooms by teachers, any subject matter around the world. So this is like an at scale. So what is it? So we literally have curriculum from kindergarten to 12th grade on this stuff. I mean, literally. Any teacher can teach it. It is literally for all students because AI is transforming what it means to be digitally literate and a digital citizen. That's how important this stuff is. So it's all short format curriculum, which is critical because your teachers are overwhelmed already. We can't expect them to pick up a whole course just on AI. So these are short format lessons that are thematic, that teachers have complete kind of flexibility and decision-making power of how much to do, when to do it in the school year. Often we see teachers do it after testing because they can kind of keep their heads up and say what's something cool and important I can bring my students. So this way of kind of dipping your toe into the water of AI in a really accessible way is really important. That's part of why I think we're starting to see such global traction on it. The AI literacy, what I talked about, like that is essentially what every unit covers for you. And again, because AI is into everything, it becomes a thread by which we can actually bring not only this hands-on learning, but this multidisciplinary thinking in the context of AI when we think about the implications of AI in society. So it's a pretty innovative curriculum. A lot of hands-on, a lot of critical thinking, a lot of creative discussion around it. It is free, completely free. You can just go on the website and download it. The professional development materials are completely free and open. And again, we offer a lot of professional development opportunities to get it into the hands of teachers and educators. So we have developed a lot of thematic modules that are very student relatable, that cover, again, those 3 to 5 ideas of AI. We continue to add and expand. So last year, ChatGPT was like freaking educators out in K-12. We released a module with ChatGPT that allowed teachers to engage students about what this technology is, how it works, and what's the responsible use in the classroom, right? So this was like the most downloaded curriculum last year. This year, we released a new curriculum on data science, AI, and climate. The priority of MIT, this is a huge global challenge. As you've been seeing people all around the world start to adopt this curriculum, we wanted to start creating things that were globally relevant. So every year, we produce new thematic content in AI. We host an event every year, a celebration. This year we did it at the Museum of Science, where we were, again, the Museum of Science is also highlighting AI and sustainability and climate as kind of big thematic areas for them. We engaged students at the New England Innovation Academy to come actually present work. They had done one of our lessons on AI and climate beforehand, and then came to present their solutions and their ideas. So I will just play you some of those videos and invite you. These are teams of students coming up with innovative projects around it. So here's Team Tree Saver.
My name is Liana Frenier.
My name is Jesse McGinney.
My name is Cora Lee, and my project is Tree Saver.
And we were basically getting information about deforestation in Massachusetts, and we use that information to make an app
Where people can click it and ChatGPT will give them information on how they can help save trees and help their community.
We found that it was really important because it's such a stable part to human life. Sort of in the backyard of our school, we're filled by trees. Trees are everywhere, and then not even 30 minutes out in Boston, there's really no trees at all. So sort of that duality and like that drastic change was really interesting and intrigued all of us.
The future is kind of scary to think about because with the way the climate is changing and all that's happening, I feel like if there's no change done fast, I feel like the future would not be a good one.
The whole point of our project is to help people find ways to help their community and help the environment by improving the amount of trees that are cut down. AI can make us a more powerful person because it can help us find ways to connect with others and help us connect and gain more information that we couldn't get ourselves.
It can still be mastered because it's so new, and I feel like getting that in schools everywhere, you could really find like the new greatest minds that will be able to use AI for the better of the world.
And yes, we did. I felt powerful, like I can do this, and I feel like I can make an app now that can change the world.
Awesome. All right, and then one more thing I want to highlight. Very different kind of project.
My name is Emmett Buck-Thompson.
My name is Max Hunt.
Hey, I'm Jeff, and my project is about Ecogram. So Ecogram is mainly in the form of social media, but we aim to connect people with nonprofits, businesses, and different CEOs.
The idea with Ecogram is that people will have more of an impact on the climate if they are doing things that they enjoy and know how to do.
Basically just like more centralized, the whole concept of making it really easy to find a place, as well as adding on to the AI aspect of, how are we going to change the future using like community service as a whole. I found it extremely difficult just to find basically services that are open and available for people to come to.
We want people to become more connected instead of spending all that time on social media and using a lot of screen time, about 8-9 hours a day. So we want people to just become more involved in their interests and their passion. And Ecogram is just in the form of taking inspiration of platforms such as Instagram, but where we need to connect them to real world opportunities.
AI is important to me because it's going to be what is going to change the world when I am older. It's going to be so important. It's going to be part of our lives in a way that we can't even imagine now.
It's just to see all these young entrepreneurs and these young artists bring in their craft and what they're interested in is a great way to look into our future.
We have a lot of change, a lot of saying what's going to happen in the future of AI. So being able to like kind of like transform into like positive rather than put it in negative matter will like create our future to be once again more positive than negative. So kind of just like fostering creativity and impact.
All right, awesome. So just two teams, but to give you a flavor of what kids are able to do now with artificial intelligence apps. So as I mentioned, we are going global, spreading like wildfire. We're already in over 114 countries, thousands and thousands of teachers. So again, just get the word out. This is very accessible, making a real impact on bringing AI literacy to the world. Just some data. We've done surveys around this. Teachers have found it to be a very effective form of professional development. And importantly, they've noticed huge shifts in their students' sense of agency about what they can do about AI. So again, we've looked at a lot of different measures, but just to highlight, we do a lot of rigorous research around this, and we're getting some really good data and results. All right, in my last 5 minutes, I want to highlight just quickly another program. So I talked about AI literacy, global at scale for everyone. This program is an intensive 6-week summer program we offer at MIT called MIT Future Makers, and it's all about cultivating technical talent pipelines, entrepreneurism, et cetera, et cetera. So that's really what this is about, particularly for underserved students. So how do we create more, again, inclusion and diversity around that? So here you can see the list of kind of learning objectives or topics you try to cover, entrepreneurism, innovation, computational thinking, being a human-centered designer, responsible designer. These are all the kinds of leadership, the kinds of content and skills we offer. The first 4 weeks is a deep technical program. We offer 3 tracks. One is on how do you develop deep learning models. Another one is on AI and mobile app development. We heard some examples of that before. The third one is data science. We call data activism. So how do you harness data to make a difference in your community? And then the last 2 weeks is a real in-depth creative-on where kids form teams. This is an online virtual program, by the way. By making it virtual, you literally can recruit kids from all over the country, and they learn to work distributed, remote, which is going to be an important skill, honestly. So we recruit kids from all over the country for this. And there's a creative thought and entrepreneurial pitch competition at the end. We have a esteemed panel of judges with a pretty rigorous rubric that scores those presentations. So, they do a lot of work. Again, this is a pretty intensive program, but we have 21 innovation teams creating a ton of solutions and apps and doing projects along the way, and then they really gather and they do that creative on a problem that they care about. They really do the whole soup to nuts thing. This is just to show we're trying to reach, again, a diverse audience. We seem to be making good traction there. It's mostly, I'd say, roughly 50% high school, roughly 25% middle school, and roughly 25% like first year college. So we support that great batch of learners. Just to give you a highlight of some of we've had so many amazing projects. These are some of the projects I want to highlight to give sense of diversity. So one team created an app called iSpy, which uses machine vision and deep learning to create a mobile app that can help the visually impaired navigate their environment. Really inspiring. We had another team, this is Code Blue. One of the young women on the team, her father had suffered a stroke, didn't know it, ended up with a lot of complications. They developed an app to look at facial asymmetry as a key early indicator if you've had a stroke, so people can get to the hospital faster. They've since patented this and started a startup around it. Vividly was an app developed by a number of middle schoolers around, there's a lot of apps kids create around mental health and mental wellness. This one basically was saying, it's actually hard to have a conversation with your parents around something like mental health. If you start with an app, with kind of the way that kids feel more comfortable through texting, it will help ease you into that more like conversation face to face. So Vividly was all about supporting parent-child communication around mental health. And we had an incredible team from one of the main kids on that was from California for the year where we had lots of wildfires, if you remember that. So they gathered a data set and applied a deep learning model to be able to predict the likelihood of wildfire forest fires in your area. So again, lots of different kinds of projects, lots of different kinds of applications, very much driven by what the students themselves care about. We send the winners to present at ASU GSV. Does anyone know what ASU GSV is? It is like one of the biggest conferences on ed tech. There's entrepreneurs, academic, government, you name it. They get a special session where they do their project pitches. So an incredible opportunity for them to present their work, to attend a conference like this, to start to connect. All expense paid, we send them there. And so what are some metrics we care about? Like we want these programs to help propel these kids along their educational journey, right? So I have been blown away by some of this data. So this is college admissions looking at the high school students who often say this Future Makers project becomes a cornerstone of one of their essays. That pink is kids getting into the top 10 schools. You'll know, it's like single digit acceptance rates to have 16%. I'm like, oh my God, that's unbelievable. So tremendous success it looks like in college, preparedness and giving them something that can help them rise above all the overqualified students has been tremendous. And then many of them actually had to pursue computer science and engineering as a college major, which is great. We also look at their internships. What do they do over the summer after? So we're looking at kind of longer term impact. They get internships at some of the top companies, right? We're talking like Disney, Google, that. It's incredible. So anyway, that's MIT Future Makers. These are the kinds of things we're trying to track. When you empower kids to solve things with AI, what do? They want to create a more just society. They want to create a thriving planet. They want flourishing people. That's what you kids do. You are so inspiring. And so what if we applied your brilliance and your passion to sustainable development, which is huge, right? We're going to need your help. So again, that's the spirit of the program. Just you know you can invent and you can create and you have such an important voice and perspective on making a better planet and a better world. Keep doing what you're doing.